Hey, this is Casey Demchek with this week's book marketing copy quick tip video. And if you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it a million times now. Good writing is rewriting, and great rewriting is rewriting some more. Now, over the last several weeks, I've given you a lot of tips and insights on how to write various aspects of really strong book marketing copy, like headlines, call to action lines, benefit-driven bullet points. But I want to get into a little series here for a few weeks on how to revise your copy, how to edit your copy. So I want to give you some of my top copy polishing tips, because that's really where the magic happens when you I write my best copy through doing a lot of editing and revising, and I have a few techniques and tips that I use myself that I want to share with you over these next few weeks. So I'm going to share 3 of them with you this week, and to do that, I'm going to share my screen here with you. And 1 second. Okay, first thing I want to do is review a quick tip I gave you last week. Now, this isn't really a revising technique, but on the other hand, it kind of is. It's a mindset thing. Don't get freaked out by writer's block. You just have to know that it doesn't exist. So what I really mean by that is give yourself permission to write crappy first drafts, because you can always fix it through the revising process. A lot of authors I work with when they're writing their own marketing copy, they try to write really good copy in their first draft, where they think if, in order to be able to write good marketing copy, you should know how to do it really quickly. And you can't. It takes it's a process. It takes me a good number of drafts before I get something I'm really happy with that I can show a client. So really part of the revision process is allowing yourself to write some, mediocre first drafts, knowing you can fix it through revisions. Now, the second tip I want to give you, as you're going through your copy, you get that first draft done, and now you're starting to make some revisions to your copy. Check your copy, make sure it's conversational, make sure it's authentically you. A lot of times, when you're focusing on writing benefit statements, you're making sure that you get all of your benefit statements on paper. You're getting the copy arranged the way you want it to be. That's really important. But as you start polishing and smoothing out your copy, check your copy for a few things. You want to make sure that you're writing through a voice that sounds like you in your book. If you've written a book that has a humorous edge to it, make sure your marketing copy has a humorous edge to it. If you've written, say, a self-development book with a nurturing tone to it, make sure your marketing copy has a nurturing voice. If you've written a business book that has a very authoritative voice, give your marketing copy a voice of authority. So write like you're having a real conversation with your actual reader, because you want to be writing directly to your ideal client, your ideal reader, or your avatar, as we call it in marketing. And again, if make sure that the marketing copy you write matches the tone of your book. Again, if your book has, say, an edgy tone to it, make sure your marketing copy has an edgy tone to it. So as a big part of polishing your copy is checking the voice of your copy. Here's a little bonus tip. Read your marketing copy out loud. You'll probably hear me talk about this in future videos. When you read your marketing copy out loud during the revision process, it's going to be very easy for you to tell what kind of voice your marketing copy has, if it's the proper voice for your book. Tip number 3 I want to give you today is to make your copy what I call at a glance friendly. This is a really important tip. Now, to do that, you want to use a liberal use of subheads, headlines, very short paragraphs, and bullet points. You want to give your headlines and subheads and call to actions line the 5 feet test, as I call it, meaning if you were, just a few feet away from the copy and you took a quick glance at it, you want to make sure that your main points really jump off the page. And the reason I have a picture of a dog here is that's my dog Ranger. He's a really good boy, and he is at a glance friendly, so he made it onto my slides. And I'm going to give you a couple examples here. This is what we call not so at a glance friendly copy. This is from a book called 5 Minutes for Fundraising by Martin Liefeld. But if you just look at this copy, it doesn't draw you in. You're not compelled to read it because it looks kind of like a slog. It looks like it's going to take a while to read, so you may not read it. And you want people reading your marketing copy, because the more people that read your marketing copy, the more books you sell. Now take a look at this copy. This is what I call at a glance friendly copy. We've got our headline. We've got, instead, I break up the text here so that it's, basically 1-sentence paragraphs. Same down here. Then we got some benefit driven bullet points. Then we got a single line down here at the bottom. Really, you don't even have to read this copy. It's a very benefit-driven copy, but it's just, how does it look? It's presented very well. It's at a glance friendly. So people will look at this and go, oh, this looks quick and easy to read. I'll take the time to read it. And again, the more people who read your copy, the more books you're going to sell. Now, I want to point something out to you. Take another look at this copy. Again, not so friendly to look at. This is much more friendly. Now, if you're thinking, yeah, but if I write really good marketing copy, it doesn't matter. You know, people will still read it. It's not true, because what I want to point out to you, you may have already figured this out. This copy right here and this copy right here is word for word exactly the same. So presentation does count for a lot. Think of it as when you go to a fine dining restaurant, you order a nice meal. The chef goes out of his way to set the plate up so it looks very attractive with a nice garnish on it. You know, everything, they make a nice presentation. Well, you want to make a nice presentation with your copy. Again, if it looks like this, more people are going to read it than if it looks like this. So always write your copy in an at-a-glance friendly style. More people will read it. The more people who read your copy, again, the more books you're going to sell. So I hope you found these 3 polishing tips helpful. I'm going to give you a few more next week. And again, the magic is in editing and revising your copy. Good writing is rewriting. Great writing is rewriting some more. So I hope you have found this tip helpful this week. No matter where you're watching this video, scroll on down, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, hit the little alert bell so that you'll know when my new videos come out, which I put out every week. And then maybe hop on over to casey-demchak.com, where you can download my free ebook, 7 Must-Know Copywriting Secrets that Sell More Books. And until next week, when I'll be back with more copywriting insights for your books, this is Casey Demchak. Take a lot of action and make things happen.